What's up, Joe? You're muted too.
I sure am. What's up, guys? How are you guys doing?
Oh, it's another day in paradise.
That's it. I love that. How are your calls coming along today?
This is my call of the day.
Wow, look for you.
Typically, I follow Eric's schedule. No client calls on Mondays and Fridays if it can be avoided.
Love that. That's awesome. So how's your admin today?
Well, I'll let you know after this meeting.
Hmm, It's funny. Where is my things?
Like that's what I get for sending the meeting invite. I get the admin associated with it.
Yeah, that's fun doing it on a Monday. I actually didn't remember until you said something. So thank you.
How are your calls today?
Great. I just got off of one, did a sales coaching, did my sales training today, and that's about it.
Very cool. On Heather. Joe's getting anxious over
Yeah,
here.
I know.
I was doing the drum roll,
Yeah,
normally you do it on your legs, but you can't see my legs in the morning during the meeting, but it's okay.
that's funny. All right. All right, I'm going to rehab.
Hey, Heather.
Hey, sorry, I was on a call that took longer.
What? The head of sales was on a call?
I know, and I've got a follow-up call in 25 minutes.
All
So,
right. Perfect. So, Heather, I want to introduce you to Joe, not the Joe with the goatee, but the Joe without the E, who's a head of our sales
awesome.
sales training. So, Joe, Heather, Joe.
Hi,
Nice to
Joe.
meet you. Nice to
Nice
meet
to
you.
meet you. I don't know if we'll have time really to go down the rabbit hole on the sales training during this call. Jeff, I really wanted to talk to you. I need to write Kathy back and get her set up for that first week of January 7th. And so I really need to make sure that what we focus on here because Alana wants to see the knockdown list of what we're going to focus on with Kathy. And I know first and foremost, one of the things for you is that tagging. Now, I have heard from our internal team that they've got tagging set up. But then when I'm in meetings with you, well, it's like, but I can't see the things, right? So something's out of whack here, and I don't want to waste money on Kathy if we actually do have it set up. But that's where I'm like, we got to focus on the knockdown list for Kathy. So Joe, I don't want to waste your time if we only have 20 minutes. Like, we might need to book another time for you and I to connect regarding the sales team.
Love that. So what I can do is I can put my Calendarly in the chat, and you can find a time that works best where it would just probably be just you and I, and we can go over some of those things that, you know, we need to address.
That would be brilliant.
right,
And I can tell you right now, one of the things that we need to address is getting me off the sales floor so that I can start getting more into the sales training.
There you go. I love that. In the link, it'll say like, what do you want to focus on? That could be your main focus, and then we can go and build from there.
Perfect. Okay.
Okay,
Got your
great.
calendar. I got your calendar because I will book that time because I don't want to waste your time. I don't want you to sit here while Jeff and I are talking about this other stuff.
And I appreciate that very much, Heather. It was a pleasure to meet you. You have a lovely rest of your day.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Joe. And I
Yes,
will
for
book
sure.
with you. I promise. Thank you
No,
so
you're
much.
totally fine. Have a good day.
All right. Sorry, Jeff. If I didn't
That's
have
all
another
right.
meeting starting, I'd be like, yeah, I'll hang out and I'll work with Joe. But I'm booked.
No, that's fine. I just wanted to make that introduction so she can be a huge resource for you to help inspire and lead the folks on the floor doing all the grunt work to make sure they're effective in what they're doing.
Absolutely. I think a big challenge, because the other thing where I don't want to waste Joe's time, not my first rodeo. This will be my fourth sales team that I have led to success. The big challenge that I feel I'm really having, I'm spread too thin. Like, I need to meet with Michael. I hear him doing things like, and I can leave him voice notes, but voice notes are not the same thing as us sitting together and us listening to a call together and us saying, hang on, me being able to say, what were you thinking right here? Here's how my brain works, right? This is where I'm seeing that you're losing because you're not advocating enough, right? So there's a difference between leaving the voice notes and really being able to help people get to success. I think the other thing that we've got to do moving forward going into 2025, and I've had some thoughts around it, but I don't have the capacity to really put together the whole strategy. What Alana has put together is amazing and brilliant from that sales perspective. Renee K hits it out of the park, but she's also very particular with her leads, right? So
What
it's
does
like,
that mean?
meaning like she's not getting the same quality of lead that Michael and Sophie are getting. So there's a higher chance of her closing because she has a higher quality lead. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so just from my knowledge, a lead comes in, is it first person that clicks on it? How does that work?
Dinah goes through and recalibrates and moves everybody around. So for us to get to the place where the company can scale, we need some sort of sales strategy where, like, I want to always make sure that, because Renee K she's our thoroughbred, right? Like, she should get the best leads. She is the highest skill level. She should get those people. Renee G as well. But everybody else, we need some way where it does get round robin, because it's also not scalable that Dinah goes and looks at every single lead and then she rejudges everything. So we need to also be looking at our sales process and our strategy and what's scalable, right? That's where those appointment setters are going to start to come into play as well. So that goes directly to the knockdown list for Kathy for that January 7th meeting. To me, the first two items, number one is tagging. Do we have everything tagged correctly for marketing so that you can make the right recommendations? And right on the heels of that, I want to make sure that we're tagging everything correctly because I really want to start using that lead scoring.
So let's back up a moment. What does tagging mean to you?
Well, so it's my understanding from where you're coming from, things aren't tagged correctly and showing up in HubSpot so that you can see which of our Facebook ads are the ones that are really like the ones that are bringing in the right leads, right?
Yep. So it's just naming the campaign funnel, correct? Is that what you mean?
No, because everybody uses different language. When I ask our teams, right, I put together just a simple spreadsheet. and said, what's the baseline for our metrics and what's the target? Because I don't give a shit if it's 20% open rate, if it's 20% of 10 emails that were sent, right?
Yep.
And I can't get our own team to agree on the data. So this is why I want to have the meeting with you. Let's all get on the same page. What do we mean by tagging? What are we looking at Kathy coming in and cleaning up? What has our team done? Have they done it correctly? Like, everybody needs to start using the same language and getting on the same page, because until that happens, we all just keep running in the same circle. And I don't know about anybody else, but I'm getting fucking frustrated.
So so the way I understand, I'm going to use air quotes, tagging is just assigning it to the funnel. So I'm going to use an example of another client that I have. They do manufacturing. So one of their campaigns is parts in days, not weeks. That's one of their campaigns. So they use a different CRM. So within that CRM, they click on campaign. They're going to name it parts in days, not weeks. There's going to be a landing page, a / parts in days, not weeks. So when somebody goes to, let's say, the Facebook ad, clicks on it, it's tagged within the ad that it's parts in days, not weeks,
Right?
which then links to HubSpot. So I click on it. You're going to get some data from Meta about me, right? Then I click on the ad and go, oh, this looks interesting. I'm then going to click on the call to action button, which will then take me to the landing site.
Right.
So I'm going to go on that landing site. I am compelled. I'm going to put in my personal information.
Right. I understand all of these things. There's a call set. I get all of that. When you look at our HubSpot, when you look at our data, are you able to see what you need to see in order to make the right recommendation to Alana?
I don't think I currently have your HubSpot access, but once I do, then yes.
Okay. So is this something that I need to put on the list for Kathy? Because what I keep hearing in the meetings with you is that you don't have that line of sight. And so therefore, then you can't make that recommendation to Alana.
Yep. So when you go into HubSpot, add me, then I should be able to see it.
Do you need to be able to have a seat in order to see that?
I believe it's a good question. Let me ask about that.
Uh-huh.
If not, you can log in as you, and I can just we can do a screen share and I can look at it that way.
Great. Let's do that right now.
Okay. Oh, are you sharing your screen with me?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
No, you're fine.
I just saw you looking back at me. I'm like, oh, am I supposed to?
Hang on one sec, because I was in this template. Okay, where do you need me to click?
Click on the far left. Let me see what those open up as. Go to the very top and let's work our way down here real quick. No, not that. No, not that. Hold on. Okay, keep going down. If you click on campaigns. So these are your campaigns. Here, you can turn on your phone.
But I actually believe it's under the settings, Heather. So at the very top, you have like a kind of main menu with icons. We're looking for the gear looking one.
Yep, right here.
Under these settings. Yep. And then I believe there's like users and teams under account management. Looks like it's the third one down on the left side. There you go. And I believe there's like a create user or add user or something like that. Yeah, there it is. Create user, far right, kind of middle of your screen. It's a orange looking button.
Right, but do we have to pay for a seat? Because this is what I would have Charles do. Because the way HubSpot works is you have to have a seat in order to be able to see certain things, and we pay for those seats. So this is where I can reach out to Charles and say, hey, do we have a spare seat? And I can assign one to you, Jeff. Or if we've already given one to Cardone,
I was going to say, like, if we already have one, we would just need the login, like reset the password or whatever, and then kind of all of us on our end would have one password, only taking up one seat, and can get the data when we need it, kind of thing.
Yep.
Because I'm sure there's going to be some times when the finance is going to need to pull some data or something to that effect. So one, login would be more than sufficient for all of it.
1000% agree. So why don't I put that on my list of like, I can ask Charles tonight. Because different seats have different permissions. So I think right now we have one extra seat because Jordan is not here, but we might have actually already given that to Sam or Skyly. So I'll need to ask him if we have any open available seats. If not, honestly, I'm happy to give you guys my login. You guys can just, I don't care. We just need to know that, like, because I don't know if we can be logged in at the same time. Like, I don't know how that all works. So we'll just need to ask Charles. But Jeff, what else do you need me to click on for you to be able to see if we're set up for what you need to be able to see?
So you have campaigns, which is good. I wouldn't have LinkedIn
I'm
as
going
a
to click on
quota.
that one.
I mean, I'm sure that was set up just to have LinkedIn. I mean, it would be like LinkedIn Black Friday or, LinkedIn upgrade your reputation. Not just LinkedIn, but that's okay. That's fixable. Okay, so you have campaigns set up. Just for fun, click on the foundation 8-week. Just open that one up and see what it is. Scroll down. So I know this is a you question, Heather. Where's this data coming from? Who set all this up?
Exactly. It's got to be Natasha. I mean, that I think is the name next to this. Or it says no owner.
Okay. Just for fun, just do the career clarity sub offer that Natasha set up. There's nothing there.
Exactly. So that's why I'm saying, to me, the first item on the knockdown list is getting this set up. Now, what I'm told is that we can see everything in Hyros, but I'm also told we want to get rid of Hyros. So that's why I'm like, well, why then aren't we? We've been in HubSpot now for almost a year. Why aren't we properly set up in HubSpot so that we're able to see in HubSpot what we're seeing in Hyros? And everything gets murky. Every time I ask a question, I feel like I end up right back at the same room.
I can give you my best guess, but I wasn't there when you guys set this up. I'm assuming you guys went to HubSpot. You bought, from what I understand from Kathy's meeting, you guys have the Primo version of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think whoever you guys hired originally to get you set up probably didn't ask the right questions or do it in a way that's needed for what you're using it for.
Mm-hmm.
That's my guess. I don't know. I wasn't there. And I think Kathy can kind of clean all this up, scrub everything, and show you guys, 30-second high-level view. When you go to campaigns, you create new, and you just bring it across websites and social media platforms. And when someone calls in, you may have to ask that question, what got you to call in today? And they may say, oh, the millionaire mindset. And that will be a manual link in HubSpot.
Yeah, I got 10 minutes left here. So is what we need to do then in our next meeting on Wednesday with Natasha is have her share her screen and you actually walk through, because maybe she's got it set up someplace differently, because I don't want to put on the knockdown list the tagging that you desperately need, right? Because maybe it's like, yeah, the tagging is part of it. But honestly, Kathy, what we need you to do is bring everything over from Hyros into HubSpot. Like, but I don't know if that's the feasible thing. I'm not a CMO. I don't know. That's where I got to rely on you, Jeff, right? I know enough to be like, hang on, y'all are bullshitting me. And I don't give a shit about impressions. And I agree with you. I ask so what all the time as well. But like, if we're going to pay Kathy, we got a bazillion barns on fire. And I need to know what are our top two. In my mind, it's marketing and our sales process.
Yeah. The
Okay.
the tagging thing, I don't care about legacy because all that's going to be changing here shortly anyways. There's a lot of improvements you guys can make to your Facebook ads that will be more impactful, which
Okay.
means you can spend less money because they're going to do more for you.
I like that.
So the tagging is literally as easy as uh I'm 12
Right.
figure mindset, right? That's all you got to do is type that in and link it to your Facebook ad. That's all you have to do. It's super
Right, but
simple.
what I heard you say from the last meeting was, I can't recommend to Alana that we even take 15% of the money and we try doing it this way because I can't see. Right, so that's where I was like, oh, well, we need the tagging then so that Jeff can see and can make the recommendation. And Alana feels confident if I take 15% of the money and I put it over here, instead of getting, $2 for every dollar spent, I'm going to get 7. Right, but you can't, what you said was you can't make the recommendation because you can't see it. Right.
Correct. I'm also under the impression you guys are operating off one funnel and you aren't breaking things out by campaign. But the
Correct.
HubSpot you just showed me showed things broken out by campaign.
Except
So
the Black Friday deals, that campaign, that's just an email campaign. The Millionaires Club stuff, that's an email campaign. These are all, in my mind, these are all email campaigns. I'm not seeing like our Facebook ads, those things. So that's where I'm like, I think on Wednesday when we have Natasha, I think those are the questions we got to start asking, right?
yep.
Okay. Because we gotta move. But I don't know. I can't make a recommendation. I'm with you. I'm like, which way do we move? Right? Like,
Yeah, because no one spends as much money on Facebook as you guys do.
yeah. And we're losing in that sales process because only once we have a Renee K. And honestly, like if I give everything else up, I did it in August, right? But I'm with Joe on like, I got the back pain. I can't spend 16 hours in a chair. We can't have, it's not possible to scale our company when it's dependent upon 3 salespeople hurting themselves in order to make it happen. So in my mind, we got to figure out how to bring that marketing cost down, make sure that that lead quality that's coming in is high. We've got to keep the sales process for our 40% close rate with our best closers, but we got to figure out a way to nurture the rest of the salespeople to get them there.
and
Like it's not an easy thing.
no, it's not. And they're all 1099, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, I just did a tag with Sophie. I did all the heavy lifting. I closed that person, but I already reached out to Sonia and said, give her all the money. Like she's amazing. I want to keep her. Like I will take zero on that. Give it all to Sophie so that she wins. But with that said, I'm saying this to you guys. I don't want her to get a copy of this recording. She was quiet through the whole thing, which she should be. She needs to learn, but that's where I need to be. I need to be on those calls with Michael and Sophie. And I can't if I'm trying to do my own. And at the same time that I'm being present in a call with people, I'm also trying to chat people and help them. You know what I mean? Like this is just not. So that's where when I create the knockdown list for Kathy, first thing is we got to get the marketing spend down. But I'm not seeing the marketing campaigns here with, right? And then we got to create the new sales process. That's where I will reach out to Joe and be like, we got to have something else here. Let me run what I would like to present to Alana by you and see if they make sense.
Yeah, so let's definitely do that on Wednesday.
Okay.
I want to see also what Natasha's HubSpot proficiency is.
Okay.
Because I know HubSpot offers a lot of free online tutorials. And to be honest, transparent, I'm an SAP and Salesforce guy.
Okay.
So I'm also learning HubSpot. They all do the same things,
Yeah.
just a little bit differently.
Okay. Because I want to go ahead and book that time with Kathy, but I don't want to waste any more of Alana's money. And if I don't know the right questions to ask and I don't have some kind of a baseline, and that's where like you guys are partnering with us, so I got to lean on you, right? Because I don't want this to be another Went situation where it was like we were following their lead, right? But clearly we're not where we need to be and we're spending way too much.
Yep. And I would love to link a couple of those Facebook ads before Kathy integrates everything, just to kind of get that baseline of you spent $1,200 on a Tuesday and it got you 1 lead, for example.
And again, I'm not saying that we don't have all of that information. I'm saying like, I can't tell you where to go look for it. It's apparently in something called Hyros. But if we want to get rid of Hyros, like Charles was tasked with getting us out of Hyros by like January 1st, and I pumped the brakes on that. And I was like, hang on. We can't do that unless it's all the way over in HubSpot, right?
Because I know when I work with a company that goes to SAP, we keep both running parallel for a week or two just to make sure the numbers are within 0.1% of each
Yeah.
other.
I 1000% agree. But if like I'm not seeing I don't see a fate, but I'm clear on campaigns. And maybe it's here. Maybe I just don't know what I'm supposed to be looking for. But I don't see the Facebook campaigns here.
Then they're not there.
Okay, so I think we got to tackle that on Wednesday. And then maybe from that meeting, you and I can connect and create the knockdown list for Kathy.
And does Yat Media do anything with Hyros?
I don't know. I'm not in those meetings.
Okay. But Natasha is?
Yes, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah. And yank my reins if I'm being a jerk. Like if it's like, Heather, you're way off base, blah, blah, blah. I'm totally open to that. But I'm
No,
like,
no. I'm just trying. So I didn't learn about your agencies until after a month into integration. So I'm just trying to figure out where everything is within the Leap universe.
me too.
And I'm getting the impression no one really knows.
I don't,
That's the
I don't
beauty
know.
of HubSpot. If I get hit by a bus tomorrow, this conversation is not only transcribed in HubSpot, the video is in there and my commentary is with it. So if I get hit by a bus tonight, whoever replaces me tomorrow, it's turnkey.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of the CRM, that you don't have to like, oh, Natasha was here 4 years ago and now it's Jessica and she does it,
Totally with you. And that, I mean, obviously I don't want Alana to get hit by a bus. It's her company, all of that. And yet, if something were to happen to her right now, she's the one who has all the legacy knowledge. We can't keep going until she's back. That terrifies me as well. Right. So like I'm trying to build a brick house here. And every time I'm like, okay, here's a brick. Right. Like everybody's like, is it? And I'm like, pretty sure it is. Where did it come from? Where do we put it?
If it makes you feel any better, if that ship goes down, our leadership goes down with it. So you won't be alone in that.
Okay,
actually, all levels of that leadership are on that boat. So
I've got to jump to this follow-up call, but it sounds like in order to do the knockdown list, we need to do some investigation on Wednesday in order to create the knockdown list. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so if we can, let's make that top priority, because we're already second week into December and I want to go ahead and book with Kathy, but I don't want to do that until we know exactly what we're spending the money on. And then Alana is in agreement. Yes, those are the right things to spend the money on. I don't want to waste one penny of her money.
Perfect. Either do I.
Cool. Good.
Yep. And you've got Joe's Calendly link. I'm fearful once I end the meeting, you'll lose the chat.
I have it. I already pulled it up, and I will reach out to Charles and see if there's a spare seat that we could have. You guys could all just share. Cool.
Beautiful.
All right. Thank you so much. Like I know I come into every meeting when it's just us and I'm like, but like, that's the speed that I move at. And I'm really happy that you guys are here. That's what I'm saying. If I'm off base, yank my reins. Okay. Redirect me.
Oh, I will. You don't have to ask for that. I will.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you. All right. I got to get this person. I got to close them.
Close them.
Well, close them, Heather.
Wednesday.
See you Wednesday.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.